in I'm face, left one in I spin eyes, but dog them ready here for go for boy dinner.
Whatever happens in this particular selection exercise, the PNP has a place for talent, and your talent will find an avenue of expression.
We're asking you, you see families in dispute, you see neighbors in dispute, recommend that they get help.
The company has agreed to take over the 55% stake held by Hong Kong-based Noble Group Holdings. The government says it looks forward to working with Century to maximize the value of Jamalco. Local clothing brand Koya has expanded to Montego Bay.
So we find gangs taking the best drivers from one area, or the driver who knows the area well. They find shutters from another area. Others organize and spy out on a particular event, give time, etc.
Watch me knock it up in a face, me a clap it up. None of them no make money, no every killer them a lay up. Yeah, we evil as savage, just we no care about no one enough. See them all up and granny up, all who no live long enough. Tavinche, me no eat to kill, tell a pussy.
We need light, and we need the road.
Based on these 40 years, we have been waiting and have not getting any form of help.
Service automated banking machines, ABMs, on 2 separate occasions, a total of $33 million.
Yes, family, welcome back. Dr. Cookie here again. You don't know a thing set, you know. Don't forget the milk. Yeah, hear me? Yo, family, we have some news for you today. You understand what I say? Look how the government that treat the people that's in the rural area. You know what I mean? No light, no road to get to them place and them thing there. You understand what I say? Them hunting down the criminal, them were robbing the banks and them thing there. Yeah.
National Security Minister has announced that an excellent intelligence team is tracking down criminals behind the multi-million-dollar robberies involving courier vehicles.
Dr. Horace Chang gave the update while making his sectoral presentation to Parliament today.
Andrea Chisholm has the details.
The nation is still stunned by the high-profile robberies of beryllium vehicles which were about to service automated banking machines, ABMs. On 2 separate occasions, a total of $33 million was stolen from the couriers in Portmore, St. Catherine. ABMs are also being stolen. Against this backdrop, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the level of organized crime in Jamaica is deeply concerning.
What they form is alliances between gangs to make this big, high public interest criminal activity. So we find gangs taking the best drivers from one area, or the driver who knows the area well. They find shutters from another area. Others organize and spy out on a particular event, give time, etc. We have been able to get that much intelligence.
And so the police have taken strategic action. About 7 suspects have been detained in connection with the beryllium robberies.
The police have built up an excellent intelligence team, but they are going further, analyze the activities and are developing effective strategic deployments in response to them. The police officers are not sitting back and waiting and hoping. They are taking strategic action. We continue to expand and improve our intelligence capabilities to ensure they have all the tools required. I make reference to the beryllium case, which made news because already we have, in fact, taken up 4 of some 9 vehicles involved in that robbery. I mention it more to give rest of the country. The police is acting decisively, but has the intelligence and the capital to monitor these criminals. We'll find the rest of the vehicles.
In the meantime, Dr. Chang announced that 51 gangs with over 1,000 members are on the police's radar. 5 gang trials are now before the courts.
The Ranko gang is a very large trial involving a group that was heavily involved in criminal activity in this side of the island. The Kings Valley Extension gang, a gang that has been involved in numerous murders on the Westmoreland area. Members of the Umbrella gang, the Singer Nighttime gang, and the Jaggy gang, all 5 cases coming up in the court, which are demanding extra special work by the courts. In fact, the chief just indicating we should maybe get a special court for gang trial.
9 persons were convicted and sentenced in the Uchen's Wilson gang trial. 15 were convicted in the Klansman gang trial and are awaiting sentencing.
Lisa Hanna took umbrage at how the candidate was selected. In a post to her official Instagram page, Ms. Hanna contended that the PNP cannot want to support the constitutional rights of all Jamaicans on the one hand, but flout the party's constitution on the other. But at a PNP National Executive Council meeting in Montego Bay on Sunday, the party's president suggested that internal matters should not be discussed in the public domain.
Let us continue to put our party first and our personal ambitions subordinate to that. Whatever happens in this particular selection exercise, the PNP has a place for talent, and your talent will find an avenue of expression within the People's National Party and within the next government of Jamaica when we form it.
But why change the process at this point?
For the reason that we want to ensure that the People's National Party delivers a victory for the people of Jamaica in the next election. And we want to ensure that the candidates that we select to represent the party are those most suited and best able to deliver that victory.
So family, you see everybody I try hunt for votes now. You understand me? I say, but me I'm telling you, say, for 2024, we are going to be very careful how we put in parliament to look after we, because so much wrong thing is going on in Jamaica right now. It's unreal, you understand me? People are suffer. You understand me? I say, I live in some situation where it's only in some third world country. You understand me? I say, the amount of money Jamaica Prime Minister rob up from people, Jamaica people supposed to be alright. You understand where I come from? So we can't trust them, my family. You understand where I come from? We have to be very careful. So I want to like, share and subscribe it thing, man. And have a look in the comment section and we could talk about this. You understand where I come from? And I'm going to have a few giveaways to give away to a couple of my fans. Them, you see me? Some of the luxurious, exclusive Dr. Cookie hat.
Violence in schools is another major problem that the ministry is working to resolve. In fact, since the pandemic, dozens of students have been injured in school fights island-wide. Some of them died, which is why the ministry is intensifying efforts to target at-risk students.
Students, if you disagree and you start to fight, you don't know how that fight will end. Very often, you pull your compass, or you pull a knife, or you pick up a stone, and you hit the other person, and immediately, because of the injury caused, Superintendent Byfield may be sending someone for you.
It is hoped that once those issues are addressed, acts of crime and violence will be reduced. While the Jamaica Constabulary Force has been reporting that major crimes are down since the start of the year compared to the same period in 2022, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says many Jamaicans still cannot resolve disputes peacefully. For some time now, Mr. Chuck has been preaching to the public to use the dispute resolution services provided by the ministry, but
it costs nothing. The ministry provide these services free. The problem is they're not being used enough.
And as a result, he says courts are overburdened with cases that could have been resolved through mediation or by the Victim Support Unit. Speaking at a church service in St. Thomas on Saturday, he appealed for the church to play its role.
Churches, members of the church, we're asking you see families in dispute, you see neighbors in dispute, recommend that they get help. So where you see abuses, urge the victim to go to victim services here in Moranbay, and victim services will assist the abused to understand and to reduce and ameliorate the pain from the abuse.
Also, that call from several farmers of the production and marketing organization PMO Group in the rural farming community of Greenland, Manchester, who have spent millions to fix a farm road in their district to get their produce out to markets. They say more work needs to be done to make the road more accessible, and they're appealing to the government to help. Here's their story.
We need light and we need a road.
Based on these 40 years, we have been waiting and have not getting any form of help.
A clarion call from farmers in the rural Manchester community of Greenland. It's a 10-mile journey from the capital, Mandeville, but farmers insist the Johns Hall Farm Road is the most suitable route to the town, especially if they want to get markets for their produce. They describe the treacherous alternative through Nash Hill.
When the rain falls, small vehicle cannot go up it because it's generally skid and out to run back down the hill because it's a very steep hill. And trucks are and truck cannot go at it with load. So it's a water channel where water always dig up that road.
But throughout Greenland, residents contend roads are so bad the drivers of public transportation are unwilling to drive there.
Don't get there at the first entrance. We cannot pass, we have to take up the sick in our hand. Like, one have to carry four-wheel drive, have to carry. Go out at the main road to go and take taxi. $6,000 me pay for out there so to go Mandeville.
And we have to go to the doctor. And my wife fall down one time, lick out the knee, and me fall down, picture about one place there so. He says the state of the place that they go.
We have acres of land which are now out of proper use because of the high cost to get fertilizer and to get workmanship to get the work done so that the produce can get to the market.
It's very hard because sometimes you go field and for carry back in something them, you have to put it on your head. If you don't have a donkey, it's very hard.
And so the farmers and other residents decided to pool money together and through the farmers group took out a loan. Then on December 28, 2020, they started doing their own work on the road.
The rest of this part of the road which you can see there, which was Bragger Path, we got it get the excavator to chop it out so that the farmers can get their produce out, so that the citizen can be able to go out on the roadway and to get traffic come through. It cost us $2,049,150.
But with much more needed to get the farm road to an acceptable standard and money running low, the residents are appealing to the government to provide more funds so the Rural Agricultural Development Authority RADA can help. Now, earlier this year, the Agriculture Ministry announced plans to restructure the program to fix farm roads following a decrease in the budget for the 2023-24 fiscal year.